Hi everyone, so it's been quite a while since I last updated you on my normal everyday go-to makeup, so I thought I would show you that today. And seeing as a lot of my current favourites, or actually most of my current favourites, are from the drugstore, I thought I would turn this into an entire drugstore makeup everyday look. I know you guys enjoy it when I feature a few more budget products and things that are a little bit more easier to get hold of, so I thought I would do that today. And my current kind of go-to makeup look is a very fresh, very glowy, radiant base, and then something a little bit brown, slightly smoky on the eyes, and then a kind of pinky lip. I've been really into pinks at the moment. I do really love a good glowy base though, so I'm going to start off with that. I'm totally clinging on to some here because I just don't want it to end. I don't want matte foundations and powdered skin to come back in because I really love a nice glowy look. So it's kind of a transitional kind of base, something that you can wear through summer to autumn and possibly in winter too, if you like to rock that look all year round. So I'm going to start with the foundation. This is kind of new to me, but I'm really into it, and it's the Complexion Illuminating Touch Foundation. So this is a new one from Complexion, and it's in the same range as their under eye highlighting product, which I love. I used to use that all the time. I've probably gone through about 10 or 20 of them in my years of makeup wearing. So this gives a really fresh, natural, dewy looking base, but it has a pretty great amount of coverage too. So I'm going to tie my hair up and pop some of this on because I can tell this is going to get in my face and annoy me throughout this video. Okay, that is much better. So I'm going to pop this on with my fingers, and it does go on nicely with fingers or a brush, whichever way really you like to apply foundation. But I particularly like kind of slathering it all over with my fingers and then using this. This is my new favourite thing. It's a beauty blender, and obviously this is not a drugstore product. It's probably the only non-drugstore thing that I'm going to use in this video, but you can definitely find a lot of drugstore alternatives for this one. So I'm just going to kind of put the foundation onto my face, as ridiculous as that sounds, and kind of not rub it in, but just create a nice layer of it all over my skin. And I'm really not using a lot, probably about half a pump on each side of my face. It's kind of like applying a face mask if you think about it that way. So once you're looking nice and ridiculous with a layer of foundation across your skin, I take my beauty blender and I like to kind of dampen this first, and I find that setting sprays work really well with this. So the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Spray and Set is a really good one to use. I like this because it gives it a bit of dampness, which stops the foundation being absorbed into it, and it also kind of helps it to stay a little bit longer, but it doesn't disrupt the nice kind of dewy glow that this base has. So I just literally sit there and tap it in, and it does take a little bit longer, but I find you get the nicest results with this. And I find that if you're taking a little bit more time to do this, or even if you're just applying it with your fingers, this really ends up looking like a kind of second skin foundation. So it really looks like natural skin, but just dewier and fresher and a lot nicer. It's also a really hydrating foundation, which I love because I have really dry skin, so it keeps it nice and moisturised, which is great because I don't always like to wear a really hydrating moisturiser underneath my makeup because sometimes it makes it slide around a little bit. So finding a foundation with a bit of moisture in it is always a plus. I'm going to pop a bit of concealer under my eyes. This is the L'Oreal Lumi Magic Concealer. Mainly picked this up because the packaging is rose gold and really pretty, but it's just one of those very standard under eye illuminating concealers, and it does a pretty good job. It's quite well covering, not amazingly so, but it gets rid of my dark circles quite well. And then pat that in again, but with the pointy end of the beauty blender. And I love using this around my eyes. It feels so lovely and cooling. So I'm actually going to use a cream highlighter. So before I go on to any powder products, I'm going to pop this on first, and it's the Complexion Speedy Highlighter. This is a really pretty kind of twist up crayon highlighter, and it just makes it so easy to kind of pop it on your cheekbones, down the centre of your nose, any high points on your face that you want highlighted. So because my foundation is still quite dewy and I haven't set it down yet, I'm just going to literally rub that onto my cheekbones, and then I kind of just tap it in to make sure all the edges are blended out. And it works really nicely underneath the brows as well. A little bit on my nose. I haven't really been using a powder at all recently. I've not been picking one up, so I've just been moving straight onto blusher and bronzer, and look what I finally have. It's the Soap & Glory Solar Powder, but in a proper hard plastic case. Amazing, it's about time. I haven't used this one yet, so it's my first go at the new packaging, but you all know the drill with this one. It's a really lovely warm-toned bronzer, and it's just really flattering for my skin tone. And I think for anyone's skin tone, it's quite a multi-use one because of the two shades. And it just blends in so nicely, you don't even really have to think about it. I've been really back into the Max Factor Cream Puff blushes, so I'm going to use one of these today. It's the shade Alluring Rose. I like these, they're such a good dupe for the Hourglass Ambient Lighting blushes, and they just go on really nicely. I think they're a really high quality product for a kind of drugstore option. So if you haven't noticed already, I'm sure you probably have, my brows are looking a little bit terrifying at the moment. I'm actually trying to grow them out. It's been a few weeks and it's really, really hard not to pick up a pair of tweezers and start plucking away, but I'm trying to be strong and let them grow because I want some nice thick brows. My brows are quite thin towards the end, so I'm just leaving them completely and hoping for the best. So I definitely need to tame them down slightly and fill them in, and I've actually been using this a lot recently. It's the Archery 2-in-1 Brow Pencil from Soap & Glory. This is kind of the Archery pencil's big brother. It's in a thicker tube and it has a kind of chiseled, angled head to it, so you can get a nice defined shape onto your brow with this. And it also has a little secret underneath that has this little twist out gel under there too, just to kind of keep them all in place. So I kind of just use it on the flat side for the front portion of my brow, fill that in, and as I get towards the arch I kind of lay it down and give myself a bit more of a defined shape around there. Okay, monstrous brows, looking even more monstrous, but that is just how I like it. So I'm going to go back in with the bronzer and just take the slightly darker side onto a fluffy eyeshadow brush. I'm going to use this kind of like a crease colour, so I'm not going to use any eyeshadow apart from this, but I still want to give my eyes that little bit of definition to make them look a bit bigger and a little bit more open. And I find bronzer is a really good thing to use for this. It's just the right sort of tone and it has just the right amount of warmth to really give a nice kind of natural looking crease colour. And pop that on the other side as well. So I've been really into a kind of bronzy looking eyeshadow, slightly smoky but nothing too intense, and I really like this product for that. It's the L'Oreal Superliner Smoke Kiss Me? It's got a really strange name. It's basically an eyeshadow in a lid, and then you get this little applicator, and as you kind of close it, it sort of dips the eyeshadow into the little sponge. Bit of an odd one, but it works really nicely as a kind of smoky looking liner. So I just take this into the roots of my lashes and just put quite a thin line. So I like to blend that out a little bit with a fluffy brush. You can totally leave it as a stronger line, but I find this kind of smoky, slightly more diffused look is really flattering for an everyday kind of eyeshadow. And then I just take whatever's left on the brush and use that underneath my eyes on the lower lash line. So that is pretty much all I've been doing to my eyes recently. Super simple, probably the most simple eye makeup look I've ever done, and it kind of looks like you've used quite a few products or you've spent a lot of time on it, but really it's taken you less than a minute. And then the mascara that I've been super into as well this month is the L'Oreal Telescopic Carbon Black Mascara. This gives a really defined and lengthened look to the lashes, which I don't usually go for. I like thickness and volume, but I've been really into it. And I think when you're not wearing eyeliner or liquid liner, it just looks nice when you can see all your lashes and they're very defined, so this definitely does the job for that. All that's left is the lips, and if you're an eagle-eyed viewer of my videos, you will have noticed I've been wearing this in quite a few of them. So this is also a bit of a throwback actually. If you go back to some of my first ever videos, which are totally cringeworthy, have some fun laughing at me because they are awful, but I used to rave about this one all the time, and I saw it in Boots the other day and I thought I'm going to pick it up again because I remember really liking it. It's the Cream Puff Moisturising Lip Cream from Complexion. I'm really into these kind of lip cream, kind of liquid lipstick type formulas, and it's the colour of this one that I'm just obsessed with. I just love it. It's such a brightening, really warming pink, and at the same time it still looks very natural on your lips, so it looks like an everyday lip colour. It kind of sets down a little bit, so it really stays put as well, but it's just such a nice formula of lipstick. So that is my finished everyday makeup look. It's kind of a look that I've been wearing loads recently, so I hope you enjoyed watching that. Let me know if you liked it, and Complexion have also given me a little discount code for you guys. I'll leave it linked below in the description bar. They're giving you a whole full-size free mascara whenever you spend £5 at Superdrug, and I think that's a pretty good deal because £5 is not a lot for a free mascara, so I'll leave that down below for you guys to go and check out. So give this video a like if you enjoyed it. I don't know why I always do the cringy thumbs up, but like it if you did, and subscribe if you're new, and I will see you all soon. Bye!